Hello everyone and good evening. My name is Justin and I am back with some more commentating. I haven't been here in 2 weeks, so yeah, I'm gonna be maybe a bit rusty, but we're back at the Hungary Grand Prix, otherwise known as the Hungaroring. Always has some good racing around here. Optimal strategy, in my opinion, would be mediums to hards. These softs are just a shocking race tire. But right now, all eyes are on this man, Ruthful, who has, I believe, a 100 plus lead in the championship with his teammate closely behind. And then, Jessen just behind, but he's not here, so we'll have to see what what happens in this race. Currently, so far, I believe Pixel's out on a soft run to sandbag. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some awkwardly slow soft times, because the softs are just utter trash around here. But anyways, I'm not the one to do what they say, but I mean, they better off be going on the mediums and then go to hards. So just trust me, I've tried one and the other, and I've come to a conclusion that the mediums are indeed much better. So we'll go on board with a lap around Hungary with Ruthful as he's backing up to make sure his teammate doesn't block him a bit. He's on the soft, so he knows he could stay close without getting some dirty air. Anyways, it's turn one. A little bit before the 100 meter board, the 100 meter board, you want to be braking. Second gear, quickly a short shift into third. Once you're in the straight, DRS is activated. You can stay tight and you won't lose too much time, but then just after 50 meter board, you want to go down to third and then quickly up into fourth and then slam the power down. Stay nice and tight to this right-hander downhill. Your seventh gear, once you pass the little black box on the right, downshift one gear and flat out through here, down into third, and then quickly up into fourth and slam on the throttle again. Up into sixth as the curve starts, down to third, and then quick shift up into fourth so you get the best traction. You want to dip the wheel in the grass a bit so you get a nice entry there. Clip both curves. He misses the second curve a bit, but it will do here flat out. And then just as the curve starts, you want to gear down by one gear. He runs off track, and that's going to be his lap invalidated. So we'll move on board to who I believe is Encore just behind the finish. Once the curve starts, that's your braking point. And then into fifth gear, down into second, but then quickly up into third, just as the board ends on the top. Once again there, the board finishes down to third, quickly up into fourth, and then it's a drag race to line. And Encore has validated his lap, but so 1:16.6. The fastest lap so far is on the softs. It's a 1:14.3. And a 14.8 on the mediums isn't a bad time. I think you want to be doing mid-14s with those medium tires, and that's exactly what the top two have done. And I think Thugs might be the only person to challenge for pole on the softs, as it seems the other people are on the mediums, and some are on the softs, but have not reached the 14, as we have the two Ferraris there who slammed into the exact same place. We saw Miku there on the left. Stranded without a tire. Trying to catch anyone off guard who's on the lap. Oh, Ruthful's back on another lap. And he's nailed it this time, but he has low ERS. Wouldn't say it should be too big of a problem, but maybe for the straight it might hinder him a bit. By a bit, I probably mean like 500ths. Minimum, I'd say, probably. Yeah, he's already out of ERS, and he comes across the line. It's a 14.9 on the mediums. There's definitely room for improvement. More ERS can help, indeed. Will he go out again? I don't know. He's already been out 2 laps on those mediums. 2 hot laps, but 4 laps in total, if you count the in-lap and out-lap, of course. We'll go back down. Who's the out-lap? Is that Fox? Oh, Fox has invalidated. Yeah, it's really easy to invalidate a quick right-hander, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lot of penalties go through there. Also, another topic I should talk about is penalties. Penalties are quite ruthless around here. It's quite easy to pick up a 3-second time penalty, even a warning. This game, as you may be able to tell already, is quite punishing when it comes to track limits. As Hugh starting his lap now. Yeah, track limits in this game are strict. When they mean strict, they mean strict. They don't mean, you know, like last year. Last year was good, but I feel like some corners were a bit more lenient than others. Like, for example, Mexico, the stadium section, that corner you could just abuse it and get away with it. Also in France, you can get away with some corner cuts. This game, I like what they did is that they made it so like that every single time you have four wheels off the track, even if it's in the straight, you'll get a warning for it, or even a penalty depending on how severe it is. That's how it should be. That's how it should have been last year, but I feel like some corners or even some tracks should be a bit more more calm. Like, for example, I feel like they should, once the season's over in real life, because truck limits have been a big thing that they've talked about this year, because a lot of people weren't happy with track limits and everything, especially in Austria. Like, in this game, we have to stay so tight that we lose out so much time compared to those in real life. So I feel like if Codemasters do indeed make like a realistic kind of mode where they take the exact same rules as the real life drivers do, as Hugh sets a 13.6 on the softs, that's around the time you want to be setting late 13s, mid 13s. So it looks like Hugh might be going for a pole here, because it doesn't look like many other people. Actually, many other people have changed mediums to softs. Even Russell's gone onto the softs. I don't know. See, if I was in the position that the 14.9, 14.8 people are doing, I'd probably stay on the mediums. Although you won't have track position, and track position is more or less key around here, as Encore's bended on the wall there. I feel like having the better tires towards the end is just the better call. Plus, you'll only be stuck behind 4 or 5 laps behind the soft runners, and then that's a big cut, yeah. And then they'll box, and then you just run away with it. And in Tier 1, when I raced, and I was on the softs, a few people were on the mediums behind me. They couldn't get past me until 2 laps before I boxed, around lap 8. And then when I came out, even on the hards, even on fresher quote-unquote tires than them, I still lost out, and finished, or not even finished, when they boxed, and I came out. Oh, as Fox is completely bended. And I can't find the other Hazy. There he is. He got in the way. But yeah, as I was saying, when they boxed and I went to pass them, they actually overcutted me by over 10 seconds. So that's just how, Hazy losing the back end there. That's just how OP the mediums are around this track. So I'd say, if anyone's listening and is in the race, keep your mediums, because trust me, they will do better. They will do a lot better. I come from experience from 2 races. Trust me, I know which one's best. And when I did mediums, and a few people in front did softs. They were just nowhere towards the back end of the race. So they were even pace with me. It's not like they were slow drivers or anything. They were quicker than me actually, and I had more pace. So that just shows how OP mediums are. So it looks like Hazy's taking it quite slowly, or not slowly, but he's not really pushing it too much. He's not extending the track. And as I said before, I feel like Codemasters should do something about track limits, because in some tracks it's good to stay within the limits, but in some tracks, like for example Austria, going wide, as Hazy spins in the pit lane, it's just so much better to be able to extend the track and use all of the curbing in Austria. It feels so much nicer as well. Like when you go into regular corner cutting, strictly, and then you drive around Austria and then you use the track limits just like the real drivers do, it feels so much better. It feels like, you're going quick. Then when you go into a corner, 9 times out of 10 you're thinking, I need to think about the exit, because obviously I don't want to get a penalty. Fox on his mediums, looks like he's devoted to going on those medium tires, and everyone bar Ruthful, who was on the mediums and changed to softs, went out, but didn't improve on their laps, which leads me to believe, except Ruthful, he's going to cross the line now, which I presume he's going to improve. He does a 13.9, so it wasn't even worth it by too much. He only improved by a second, and he only gained 2 positions. So, I don't know. And plus, right now, it's gonna be difficult to get outside the top 11 because already 4 drivers are out, and or 3 drivers that are out. There's only 14 people, so really you can get 11th, and that's about it. But as much as I'm screaming in the back of my head, you know, don't go on the mediums, don't go on the softs, don't go on the softs. They're not gonna listen. I'm just the commentator. But the mediums are really, really good around here, and I feel like Pandikoi, Fox, Miku, Choik, Pixel, Encore, hopefully, Maple, and Hazy can all, you know, show them how it's. Or not show them. I'm trying to say that, you know, give them karma, but no, show them that you know, with their pace advantage on the mediums towards the late stages. But I don't know, because around here tire wear is quite heavy, especially through the final corners. You're gonna want to need your tire wear, especially around here, as Q'd invalidates. You're gonna want your tires, and there are a lot of, like, this corner. It's really terrible on the tires. Through here as well, you could lose the rear quite easily. So I feel like having the freshest tires and the best tires for the whole of the race is the way to go. There's 5-ish minutes left of this this qualifying session. Ooh, there's a Mercedes at the back. I believe that GC Fungus, or no, GC Fungus is on the lap. That's Maple, who got out the way. Fox improving by 2 seconds. That will be enough for only a 117, so he needs to be a bit quicker through here in order to make himself into top 5. Top 5, I think, should easily be done. If he comes across the line, he's not going to be in top 5. He's going to be in 7th with a 16.2. A lot of people are in the pits now, but Thugs is on a lap, I believe. His time of a 1:14.3, that was the time to beat, looks a bit childish now, considering a 13.6 has been done, and he's riding wide and he's invalidated. He was 4/10 even going slower there, so he was improving by quite a bit, to be fair. GC Fungus invalidating Milan. 8/10 up, where you prove he's a 10th up on his time. Oh, we really sent it through there. This looks like a really nice lap. It was also a really nice corner. If he can hook up the final 2 sectors, I'm sure this could be a mega lap. It's tidy, it's clean, it's everything a lap around the Hungarian should be. It's only this corner now. Ooh, he's done it perfectly. He's only 3/10 up, so it's only enough to put him into provisional P3. But heck, beating Ruthful in qualifying is an achievement in itself. And he was 3/10 up in the second sector. There's still the final sector to go. Looks like he is running ABS, as he didn't lock up there in a really easy lockup. Looks like it's going to be a wonder lap. It's going to be P3, provisional P3, and I think that's going to be it for his qualifying. He won't have time to come back in. He does a 13.8, so that is a nice lap. No doubt that I'm sure other people will beat it. But Maple is currently mowing some lawn, taking an example from Valtteri Bottas in Austria. Or was it the Austrian Grand Prix, or was it the Spielberg Grand Prix? I don't know. Austrian 1, Austrian 2, that's what I'm calling it. When people refer to the Silverstone race, I just say, which one, the Lewis one or the Max one? Because in the first one, we all know what happened to Lewis's tires. I totally did not excite myself with joy when I saw that Lewis Hamilton had indeed a puncture on the final lap and Max was closing in super quickly. Nah, I was not excited at all. But no, it was kind of heartbreaking, and Max did come back. And I'm really surprised he managed to come back, considering it's a power track. And, you know, as you know, the Mercedes are OP this season. Example that will be Lewis Hamilton beating Schumi's 92 race, or 91 race wins, and he's busted with the OP car. that he's had for 6 years now, and his OP pace. OP driver plus OP car equals OPness. Hence why he has 7 world titles. Let's be honest, this world title is already in the bag, even though there are 5 races. I'm pretty sure with the... I think he has like a 60-point gap. If he wins the next 2 races, I'm pretty sure he's won the championship. So that just shows how OP he is. I think even if he wins the next race, you can... I don't know. No, there wasn't any hype. But all I know is that Lewis Hamilton's going to win this year's championship. And Bottas doesn't seem to be in a comfortable position when it comes to getting P2 either. Max does seem to close up. He's only 17 points behind Max. Just takes it so like that he gets a couple of nice races, Max, and he'll be in a good position. But hopefully in 2022, when Hamilton or Bottas retires or leaves Mercedes, Max can be like, hey, I'm here. Can I have a seat? Would be nice to see a bit of spice going on in that Mercedes team. Max to finally win his championship that he's long deserved. But anyways, I'm rambling on with my fanboyness. GC Fungus is on a lap. He's a 10th down on his time, and he's invalidated. So that's his lap done. Pixel is 8. It shows it's 8/10 for everyone for some reason. Maple has invalidated. Pandakoi is going to start our lap. I don't know if there's 20 seconds left. I'm pretty sure I have the glitch where it's like there's an extra 40 seconds on the time. Ruthful's on the lap, or Ruthful has finished his lap. He's done a 13.5, so Ruthful is on provisional pole position. Now, Hude is not on a lap, so that could be his qualifying over, or he could have just finished his lap. Sure, but Phoenix is on an out lap. I don't know how much time is left, to be fair. No, he's gonna keep going. So Phoenix now, he only needs to improve by a 10th to snatch himself onto pole position. I'm sure that's doable. If he's already a 10th up on his time in the first sector, that's going to be very motivating for him. And let's see. Ooh, he's down by 2/100ths of a second. Oh, and he's hit the curb of death and he's spun. So that's definitely not him going to be able. Hude isn't going to be able to sell lap either. So now it's just all eyes on the Williams driver, who's up by 1/10. As there's a Mercedes coming back on track. That's going to put him off massively. That's going to be a very, very, very bad, what's the word I'm looking, distraction. So it looks like it's all eyes on Milan. It's coming up to the back of Phoenix, who, I remind you, has spun. He'll get out the way, and he's a 10th down on his time. So if he could find, if he needs to find 3/10, and yeah, no, that isn't happening. So it looks like, well, I mean, he might be able to find 2/10 in this 3/10 in this final sector. Snatch himself into P3. So the second row, front of the second row. Will he be able to do it? No, he's 3/10 down on his time. Phoenix crossed the line to finish qualifying. So familiar face on pole position on these softs with a 13.5, who's 500ths of a second clear of Hude, to be fair. So it's going to be spicy at the front. Phoenix in third, Milan in fourth, and Thugs to round up these soft runners in the top 10. Then we have Pandakoi, Maple, Pixel, Hazy, GC Fungus, or just Hazy on the mediums. Hazy on the soft, so he's going to be in an awkward position with those softs, and I presume everyone underneath will go to the mediums as well. I don't know why you want to go to softs. I'm not judging them, but it's just the softs are such a bad tire. It's like, you know, you probably don't know, but in Spain there is tire wear, right? And people going out to softs in Spain is basically a death wish. It's a bit like that here, except it's a bit less worse. You can get away with it, and you don't feel the effects of tire wear after 4 laps. It's more 5 laps here. Lap times are longer around here. Actually, no, they're shorter, so yeah, hence why it's 5 laps. So really, it's the same thing. I don't know. We'll have to see if the Media Brothers or Soft Runners can make it count. Because they'll be boxing around lap 6-5. And it's lights out and away we go. Anyways, let's see. Tire. I guarantee everyone minus those in the top 10 are on softs. Guarantee it. Oh. Excuse me. We see a bit of white down there. 3 drivers opting to go on the hards. So their strategy will be hard softs, and what can save them is if there's a late safety car. Actually, no, what couldn't save them if there's a late safety car. I'd say they'd probably be on the similar pace as the soft runners towards the start, and then they'll be quicker than everyone on the field. But then eventually, once they box, they'll be the slowest. But they will have the softs towards the end, so it might help out. Who knows? I need to enable this. And, yeah, so top 5 in a dangerous position right now. Not really the most comfortable position they want to be. All Ruthful Hued seem to be quite tight on pace. Also Phoenix, who is only a 10th away. So top 3, if they can all depend on their pace, try and run away with it in a coordinated fashion. And then 4th and then 5th hold up the medium runners. I think top 3 might be able to get away with it. However, GC Fungus, he's in a realm of his own right now, considering he's on the softs in 10th. See, if you want to be on the softs, at least be aware the front runners are the softs, so you can have even pace and try and battle out with each other and try and use each other to shield off the medium runners. But being in 10th, that's going to be a really difficult thing to pull off. All he needs to hope is that he gets a good start, or maybe an early safety car, chuck in the medium combat tires and aim for a 2-stop mediums. That is doable. That can save the soft runners. They can box for mediums, and then towards the end, when the medium runners box, they can box for a fresh set of mediums, or maybe not when the mediums box. I don't know. They'll probably last until roughly lap 20 if they have a early safety car. Anyways, I'm rambling on too much. So as the lights come on now, we have 4 lights, 5 lights here in this Hungarian ring. And it's lights out, and away we go. And it looks like a decent start from Ruthful, and he moves out to the inside to try and block him. The McLaren Pencoy hasn't gone the best of starts, as I saw in the back, but rounding around the outside is Fox, who outbrakes himself, and he's going to be falling down the grid a bit much now. Thugs on the attack on the Williams of Milan. He tries to go down the inside. He goes down the inside of 2 cars instead. And oh, they make more contact. They keep making contact. They rub tires, and then that's someone going onto the grass. And it looks like an AlphaTauri there. That's Pixel, all lively at the back of Maple as well, and going up. Excuse me, I had to cough there. Milan lost the position to Thugs in the end, and the medium runners already see me. And someone has lost a few positions there. Someone's actually spun, or no, it's just awkwardly slow tires. It's just Fungus is losing positions here. He's lost a position, not losing positions. Keep that in mind. We'll say gap to interval because that's what we want. Ruthful has actually lost a position to Hugh during all that carnage, so it's definitely interesting to see. Medium runners haven't made that much progress so far, but the progress window won't occur until roughly lap 5, lap 6. Because right now they're all even territory with all their tires. It looks like Ruthful's front left and rear left are 100 degrees, and he wants to get past as soon as possible. Moving further back down the grid, let's see, is anyone close enough to suggest a dive bomb? No one yet. Let's see, is anyone close enough to suggest a dive bomb down here? Pixel seems quite, or not Pixel, sorry, Hazy seems quite lively on the back of Pixel as well, giving him an itch. Ooh, as he gets good skirmish on the exit. Everyone in a respectable distance of each other, all within. Oh gosh, Milan, a nice wiggle there. But time penalties already starting on lap. It hasn't even been 2 laps yet, so that's not a good sign for them. But if it makes them feel comfortable to get rid of a 3-second time penalty already, then so be it. Ruthful is staying within 2 tenths, meaning that he knows he could be faster, as we've lost Encore at the back. And Ruthful going for a switchback there. Doesn't really work out too well. But he's compromising his exit a bit. Actually, no, he's not. He's making it so like that. Get a better exit. Both using overtake. And Ruthful has set the fastest lap of the race, proving that one is quicker than the other. Ruthful, or Hugh, goes semi-defensive. Tries to get a nice switchback. Overtake mode is engaged, but Hugh, I believe, also has his overtake mode on. As going into what I believe is turn 2. Turning up into overtake as well, trying to get the best exit, best punchy exit as possible. Hugh, I'm pretty sure he just collected himself a warning. So that's something he needs to keep in mind of. Ooh, and he's almost locked up at the back of him. Two people really close to each other as well. There's Zafatari, his teammate, Ruthful, and Maple. There's seems to be in a close go battle. Phoenix, I believe that's also a warning, but now we're going to get a perfect view of Ruthful going down the inside of Hugh into the third sector. No space given. He's pushed him wide. Trying to compromise his exit as Hugh tries to barge on the outside. They're getting hooked a bit inside of this third sector. They're still side by side into the final corner. Ruthful has the inside line and will get the move done for now. But Hugh all over the back of him, and Ruthful not using overtake mode. He's letting Hugh use his and then chucks it up into what I believe is also overtake mode. As who's that? Phoenix going down the inside of Hugh into turn 1. Doesn't go out well. He went for a late lunge, to be fair. Almost made it stick, but that's cost Hugh a bit of time. And now Ruthful has been able to create a 4/10 gap. I say 4/10 gap, acting as if it's the biggest thing in the world, but in F1, anything over than 3/10 is a big-ish gap. But Hugh seems to be struggling on these tires. Phoenix is currently drifting. As Carlos Sainz said in the Portugal Grand Prix, it feels like Tokyo Drift. Not Tokyo Drift for these drivers, luckily. It's Fox getting a 3-second time penalty. As Encore has spun and is DNF'd actually completely. So could that be a VSC or a safety car? It can be. It will be a safety car. Oh, okay, I can breathe. So it looks like we only have that safety car that I was talking about at the beginning of the race. Now I suggest the sophomores to box for mediums and go for a 2-stop mediums. That would be the smart decision. Now will they take my... Yes, they will. At least Ruthful will. And Phoenix follows, Thugs follows, and Milan follows, and all the medium runners stay out. I believe GC Fungus will come in as well. Yeah, GC Fungus has boxed. All the soft runners in for what I believe is... A lot of people are going on the hards. Why would you go... Well, to be fair, the hards could make it to the end. If you're going softs, hards, to be fair, softs, you'd probably box an extra 4 or 5 laps from now. But I mean, I feel like you could do 2-stop on the mediums and then be quicker than those on the hards. Plus the hards isn't really that... In general, it isn't that good of a race tire. It's never the quickest in any case. I'd even prefer dead tires compared to dead softs compared to fresh medium or hards. Takes a while to warm up, and when they do warm up, you have the same pace as fresh mediums, to be fair. So I don't know. It's going to be a challenging course of events. If the safety car wanted, it could box this lap. Everyone's caught up. But knowing the game, it's going to stay out for at least a lap. Or depends, safety car might be in this lap. If that's the case, it'll be a quick pit stop. And then the people on the hards will be sweating. Because people on the hards, they can make it to the end, but they need to make 30 laps on those hards. And usually you want to do around 20 on the hards. And even towards the end of your mediums hard stint, after doing 20 odd laps on the hards, you're gonna get roughly 67% wear. So what I think the hards might do is, if there's an safety car, box for mediums, or go towards the end, or heck, even chance it. When the medium is boxed, you box for softs. Or the mediums could be going to the end. I don't know. I doubt the mediums could go to the end. No, because fresh mediums already make 15, 16 laps. So them being able to make 30 is slightly impossible. But right. During this safety car period where everyone will be able to take a drink, collect themselves, get out of race mode for a temporary bit, and then go for it. It's now or never. As I believe safety car will be in this lap. I don't know why safety car wouldn't be in this lap, but you never know. As there you go, safety car in this lap, ready to go racing. As Pencoy will be leading the pack. There's a bit of contact there. I believe Pixel and Maple made a little slight nudge. Pencoy warming up his tires, backing up the entire field. Gonna be going nice and wide as he's picking up the throttle. And it's go back at this race. And already a good start there. Ruthful has already gotten in front of, or he hasn't gone in front. Fox actually moved out to the outside. Has tried and round the outside into turn 1. My apologies. Maple trying to go for a move and almost a side putted Pencoy there in the whole spin. As a choik completely bashing it, and then 3 wide going into turn 2. Came out. Oh god, it hasn't gone out well, and I believe there's a spin there. Jesus, I'm dying. But 2 wide going into the left-hander. Fox goes out wide. Milan trying to go round the outside, and that's Ruthful who has been spun. Ruthful, or no, he hasn't spun. He actually caught it. I just saw someone go sideways up there. But Milan trying to go around the outside. Phoenix forcing to cut. And there we finally go. Someone has been collected. Not saying finally is a good thing, but with all the cartage, you'd think someone had him. But Fox has completely collected Jesus Fungus, who Fox was in the middle of a spin. And then he collected him. But it was Pixel who was in a semi-spin at the right-hander. It wasn't Ruthful. Going up now. These 3 seem quite close to each other. So right now this is the battle. This is net P1 here. Hude and Ruthful. Ruthful's pit strategy already open for the 1-stop. Ruthful goes down the inside to turn 1. Hude gives a respectable amount of room. Not enough though. GC Fungus has gone back into the... Oh yeah, because he crashed, I forgot. And he retires inside of the pit, so unfortunate for him. Going towards the second sector now. We'll move up the field a bit. If anyone collects themselves a penalty in the left-hander. Choik does. And the 2 Ferrari teammates are quite close. And I believe Ruthful tried to go down the outside of Hude. Put him off a bit though. Hude, because he locked up. Gave him a little nudge as if, come on, I'm here. Want to get a move on. And the hards won't be nearly as quick as the mediums are, so still going, still trying to push him out of the way is Ruthful. And he's not making that much progress as much as he wanted. If he can get past Hude, I'm sure he can get past the rest. But Hude not making it easy for him. There's just a big gap. Pencoy is 2 seconds clear of Maple in second place. Pencoy is just running away with this. As it seems. No one seems to be spicing up for a move. Ruthful completely out of ERS. Trying to go around the outside of turn 1 and gets on the curve. That's going to ruin his traction now, and Phoenix is going to go, hey, how you doing? And he's going to go try around the outside into turn 2. A big lockup from Ruthful that shoves him wide. He's still there though, Phoenix, and Ruthful doesn't see him and pushes him out wide. And almost, that could have been bad. But looks like Spicy now, who's that? Is that Milan? On the same strategy as Ruthful is getting on the back of Phoenix. Seems to be quite tight here towards the back, as Hude, I believe, has outbrake himself. Or, oh, he's come back on the track and he's pushed out Phoenix wide. And he's still pushing him out wide. Phoenix is pushing him out wide, and then there's a retaliation, I believe. I saw a bit of carbon fiber go out, and that's Ruthful's front wing. So Ruthful has a damaged front wing. But speaking of damage, Phoenix's damage now will be they lost the place. Actually, not yet. He sticks his nose into the left-hander. Oh my goodness, this is some racing here. But Ruthful boxes this lap to what I believe would mean go onto the hards towards the end of the race. Unfortunate for him, he was in a good position. He did kind of boot Hazy out of the, or Hude out of the way, but that's that. Fox. These three are in a train of about 3/10 separating each other. Ruthful boxing for fresh set of mediums. Could be going to the end. 25 laps on those mediums. Not saying it's easy, but not saying it's hard either. I mean, you don't necessarily know that, as Phoenix gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Going just a bit wide. I take it as if there might be a new safety or another safety car towards the end of this race, or even a VSC. A VSC won't do for Ruthful if he wants to get back in this race. I feel like Ruthful might need a whole full-blown safety car and be able to box on the softs. We'll have to see exactly what happens, because he's in the pit window, whoever's in front. However, he won't jump many more people. If it stays like this, there's a big conga train going on now. All quite close to each other, in all fairness. If it stays like this in the pits, they'll all be blocking each other. As no one seems to have ERS except for Hude, who's done good. So is Pixel, so is Maple. And Badgoy hasn't even had the need to use it just yet. Phoenix looking out the back of Hude. Hude has DRS just about as he locks up into the left-hander. Seen Hude lock up quite a few times before, and he keeps doing it. So I don't know if it's a sign that he's struggling or a sign that he's just struggling. But Choik now seems to be going slow on his 10-lap-old hards. So he could be going hards mediums, or I'd say probably hard sauce. That might be the smarter thing to do, considering he started outside the top 10 on the hards. As Phoenix is getting himself warnings left, right, and center, I believe. Front seems to be quite close as well. Pixel on the back of Ruthful. It was Miku on the back of Hazy. And obviously Phoenix, Hude, and Milan, the back of Choik. So it's a close battle for the whole field, in all fairness. They're not going to be close enough. Ruthful gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Someone who is close enough is Miku. Looks to the inside, doesn't do much, but someone who's getting put under pressure now is a Choik, who gives a lot of room to Hude, and Hude just able to capitalize on that. And Phoenix is going to try and follow him into turn 2, try and not lose that much time to Hude. And Milan, unfortunately, hasn't been able to do that, so now he's going to be stuck behind Milan or Choik for a little bit. Especially through here, through that start. Don't really need your tires, but this is where you're going to need your tires. Or see, the top 2 will stay running away a bit. As Ruthful sets a 1:17.7, I believe it was. And he's closing up quickly to Fox. However, Fox is losing touch to Thugs, who is the driver just behind this little train towards the back, so he needs to be eyeing on that. It's roughly 17-18 seconds to the back of Thugs. So we'll be able to jump him if they do pit. but then it'll be an even race until there. So Panikoi really running away with his race. Told you that on those mediums he'd be able to do good had he got the chance to go in front. Phoenix all over the back of Hude, trying to get the move done. It's not working. Something that isn't working as well as the DRS button, because it's not going to be working in a little while if he doesn't have much of it left. But Milan seems to be pushing his way through. Doesn't chuck it into overtake mode, but he does lower his fuel tab thingy as we saw. But he's really starting to lose time now. We can see in his mirrors on the bottom left there, squirming all over the place to try and get in front of we'll say his current race rival. But, it's Nick and Tuck with these guys. But Panikoi, the surprise of the race, was set for his first win, maybe? I don't know if it's his first win, but first win I've seen, or at least remembered. And he seems to be in a good position to do so. He's 5 seconds away, clear of P2, and his pit window is going to open, I'd say, anything from this lap onwards. This lap 16, and then he'll check on those hards towards the end. Milan still not able to capitalize on the back of Choik, who Choik himself has DRS on the back of Phoenix. He's using that overtake button to try and run away from him. Is Choik. Excuse me, but Milan has the medium combat tires, and he's chucking it up to overtake, trying to think about a move here. It's not going to be close enough. As Phoenix, oh jeez, as Phoenix gets another 3 second tire, but I'm pretty sure he's at 9 seconds by now. But I don't know if it's Maple who's holding everyone up, or what, because if he was holding them up, considering Pixel's following this closely, you'd expect on the straights to get past him, right? But I mean, the clouds are starting to darken up to a point that suggests it's going to rain soon. So maybe that's why he didn't go on the hards, Ruthful. Maybe he sees that it's going to rain soon, so might as well check on some mediums and then go until the rain period. I don't know. Goes on the hards as well, now I think about it. Could be a position to do so, as the pit stop window is open for all the medium runners. As Milan will try and shove it around the outside, try and get a switchback. No DRS this time for Choik, so it's going to be a straight up battle here of power for and Milan has turned in way too early there and has spun Choik off, and Choik is actually, oh, it wasn't Choik, he collected Thugs, and the Thugs has lost a bit of his front wing, so is Choik, so that's very unfortunate. That's going to go to stewards, no doubt about it. I feel bad for Thugs, he was just minding his own business, and then he gets absolutely butt fricked by the rest, as Choik has gone straight out into the wall. That's going to be a safety car for sure. Safety car or VSC, something, I don't know, but where is he? It's a virtual safety car, so Choik has caused a virtual safety car intentionally. That will definitely go to the stewards. But people, oh god, people on the medium compound tires will get a free pit stop here. But they're not using it, so maybe it looks like, oh shoot, it is raining. Oh god, I was right, my theory was right. It's gonna rain soon, so the people on the mediums will want to stay out as long as possible. And this isn't helping Ruthful, because Ruthful needs to catch up as soon as possible to the back of these guys, to try and prevent, you know, in the rain it's going to be much harder to overtake. So with rain here already, 20 laps to go, anything can happen really. Thugs pits and Choik, well, he stays out. The Thugs is on the intermediate tires, so he doesn't want to waste his pit stop. He might as well just risk losing positions or losing time to the rest than boxing for softs and then having to box a few minutes later. Panikoi just casually strolling away. 10 seconds is the gap to P2, and when he boxes, he's Jesus. Panikoi, if he's quick, in the wets, he'll be in an almighty position to win this race. Considering he doesn't have any time penalties so far, I don't think. The rain is starting to hit hard, to the point where they're second slower than their PB. It's the hard runners. But there's a big I don't know if it's Maple that's causing it and that's blocking everyone, because if that was the case, you know, they'd overtake him here. Like, look, Pixel should be able to overtake him. Barithful's using his overtake button, that's what he's doing. And then he just can't get in front, and then it's official. Oh god, hello. Hued side by side with Miku, heading into turns 1 and 2. Phoenix follows, so it's really good that what Phoenix is doing. He just keeps following what Hugh does and doesn't lose any time. Just in the right place at the right time. Lan, however, isn't. He's stuck behind another Ferrari, and it's going to hinder him a bit as well as he gets a scruffy line through that corner. So, Maple has officially made his gap to 10 seconds. And going further up the grid, this is how the race is right now. There's Panicoy 10 seconds out of P2, and then there's a train that goes from, he's trying to warm up his tires, from P2 to P8, where Milan ends it off. And then there's Fox by himself, Ruthful by himself, and Thugs by himself. And yeah, I believe it wasn't the right call to put on intermediates just yet, but I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Thugs gets himself a 3-second time penalty, and Maple is trying his best to not lose out on this P2 before the pit window. As there's a move going on, Hugh trying to go around the outside of AZ. Didn't go out too well, but he'll get the switchback. He has the overtake, he has the ERS, crucially. And you try and send it around the outside, a bit of wheel rubbing. It's not going to work out. He's going to try and stick to the inside line for his left-hander. They touch wheels, and that, oh, Phoenix could have capitalized on that had he not been squeezed there on the inside line. And Phoenix has been second best to Hugh for this whole race so far, and Patagoy is managing to run away. So I'd say when he puts on a fresh set of intermediates and then goes out, that's only when Maple will enter the pits and or cross the pit lane entry line, and then only then he'll probably be out by the time they come in. That's what I mean. But Thugs in the pits again. I believe he broke his front wing there in that little spin. 15 laps to go, so yeah, he does retire. So it looks like everyone who finishes this race will finish in the points. That's a plus. However, Ruthful is only, I say only, but I mean, let's be honest, Ruthful has like 100 plus lead gap on Pixel, who's in P3, almost caught Milan's binning it there. So I don't think a 10th finish would bother Ruthful too much. Rain's starting to hit hard now, to the point where I think intermediates might be needed. As Milan picks himself a 3-second time penalty. Looking up the grid, Pixel struggling these guys to try and stay out. Panicoy really in a race of his own. Hugh has a Raging Phoenix just behind him here, trying to get past him. He's not managing Phoenix, but I feel like his patience might come to a close as soon as his pit window will open. But how long can the medium runners make their mediums last? Surely their mediums will start to cry soon. You know it's intermediate condition times when if you hit the back of your camera and then see rain splattering off the back of your wheels, or if you look to the crowd and if they're all holding umbrellas, that means that it'll be time to put on the inters as Milan gets past Miku. And there's a move here, Q going down the inside. Hey, Jesus, they're touching tires, they're doing everything possible as Hazy loses the position to Hude. So right now, I'd say probably the medium runners will be in the best position because their mediums will be able to warm up to these tricky conditions. And if the rain keeps going, Ruthful will be able to catch up to the back of these guys quite easily because he's on the freshest of tires. Phoenix sees an opportunity, tries to go around the outside. Hazy giving absolutely zero space there. He was alongside him a bit, and then Hazy acted as if he wasn't. Right now he's losing time to Hude. Panico is still staying out. He might be able to create a 12-second gap, you know. Oh, there goes Hazy. Hazy has spun and he's bent it and he's hit the wall. And he's lost a good chunk of his front wing. So he's going to need a box for replacements. And that's coming at an awkward time though. Does he put on the intermediates or does he deal with the damage? He's going to box for the front wing change and intermediates, I'd say. Everyone now starting to lose the back end out of each corner. Once DRS gets disabled, that's the side of when it's going to be time to box soon. Panagoy really right now just in a race of zone. I mean, he's not using his ERS. He doesn't need to use his ERS. He retires. He doesn't need to use his ERS. As long as he just keeps going, he'll be in a good position. As a Phoenix is back in front because of Hazy spin. Once again, Milan, best of the rest. At least of these two. They're always fighting each other. Will Panagoy box this lap? No, he's not boxing. Or is he? He is. No, he isn't. He hasn't. But right now, Milan trying to go around the outside of Phoenix. Bit of wheel banging. No space too much given there by Milan. He tried to hug him as best as he could. Try to get the move done. Didn't work out too well. But Ruthful has managed to make up that 20-second gap into a 1-second gap. Not close enough for a DRS though just yet. Moving further back down the grid. I believe Ruthful's the quickest of the field so far. Could even be quicker than Panagoy. Let me check. Panagoy is last lap 24:23. Ruthful's was a 23:21. So yeah, Ruthful is definitely the quickest on the field so far. Spixel gets himself a 3-second time penalty. So maybe in the rain when Ruthful is within touching distance of everyone else on the field, will he be able to capitalize? I don't know. There's 10 laps left and people on the mediums still haven't boxed. At least those who start on the mediums. Those who have already boxed in this race are in a good position. As Ruthful gets past Fox, so he's making up positions now finally. Ruthful on his comeback drive. Will he be able to do much? Panagoy still doesn't box. DRS is yet to be disabled. I fear that it's one of those conditions where it's like it's raining and then the track gets slippery, gets like this, and the conditions they're currently driving in now, and then it just won't change. But now that I say that, I'm looking in the crowd and a lot of people are starting to pull out their umbrellas, so that's a sign usually that it's rain time. As Hugh goes around the outside Pixel not making it difficult. Oh, and he spins Hugh out. He taps him and he still has it ghosted, and Hugh has been spun round. And he retires from the race in rage, which is fair. Fox boxes as well. I don't know why you'd retire, to be fair. You're still in a good position. Rain has yet to drop. There's still so much to do. But Pixel gave him a little tap, gave him a little nudge, and he spun out as the cause of it. So we're down to 8 runners in this race. Keep an eye on Fox to see if he gains that 23-second gap. As will he make it hard for his teammates? Ruthful tries to go down the outside. Pixel not making it difficult, but do keep in mind, teammates, yes, but they are both competing each other for a championship. At least Pixel's in P2. And it's time to box for the intermediates. Panikoi says. 2 others follow. Fox isn't losing time to Pixel. I think he's even gaining. So it looks like everyone's boxing. And I think Ruthful desperately got in front so like that he could be in front for the pits. And yeah, he's forced to stay behind now. So see, Panikoi is already on his set. Maple just entered the pits. And there's probably going to be a big hold up. And he's released, but he missed his chance. Maple's going to fall all the way to the back of the grid. Gets jumped by Miku. Does he get jumped by Milan? Milan is already out. So is Phoenix. So Ferrari and Mercedes there have been jumped quite significantly. And now that everyone's on the intermediates, it's a 10-lap sprint with DRS. So I take it as if Jeff is probably saying we don't know which tire is quicker now, dries or wet. Stewards don't know either, but I mean everyone's on the yeah. You could tell by the tires there's water splashing, so DRS will be disabled shortly, I'd say. But Phoenix has a 12-second gap, so even if he's slower than Phoenix in the wets, Panikoi needs to make a second a lap every single lap, even more. He needs to make up like 1.2 seconds a lap ish until the end of this race in order to catch up to Panikoi. Catch up. Panikoi, you know, it's gonna be yeah, DRS is disabled. It's hard enough to overtake it to dry here, but in the wets, it's probably just gonna be a matter of who does mistake first. And right now the grid is quite separated. We don't have that train. We have Panikoi up in front, and Phoenix, then a bit of a gap to Milan, then a bit of a gap to these three, then a bit of a gap to Fox, then a bit of a gap to Pixel. Who Pixel, I'm surprised, hasn't actually been penalized too much by double stacking. He's still within touching distance of Fox. Yeah, Fox didn't get much of an undercut, to be fair, with those intermediates. Wasn't the best of decisions, but did have front wing damage. Was that way boxed? I didn't see him having a collision. It's Panikoi. A race leader gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's check out penalties real quick. Panikoi has that 3 seconds. Phoenix has 3, 6, 9. Milan has 3 on the verge of 6. And who's this? Is it Ruthful who spun? He's spun and he's lost his front wing, so he's going to need a box again, and that's going to be his chances of a top 5 thrown out of the window. When he boxes, he's going to come dead last. He's going to come 8th, so it looks like 8th will be the best he could do in this race. Unfortunately, good comeback so far, but then he lost it himself. But as unfortunate as that is, he still has his 100-point gap in the championship, so feeling sympathetic for him isn't, you know, as much as if it was only 2 points and then him crashing out would be a big mistake. Honestly, he can afford these mistakes. However, if he does it often, he will feel the consequences later on in this championship. So he boxes. And currently the podium seems to be set for Panikoi, Milan, Phoenix. I don't know about Miku though. I don't know about I only know the top 3 penalty situations. I'll check Miku because I didn't see his name pop up. No, he doesn't have any time penalties, nor does Maple. So theoretically, Miku could be second, Maple could be third. Maple could be on a site for his first podium, or not first podium, or first podium that I've seen at least. I know he had podiums in 2018, but first podium that I've commented on. Anyways, I'm not going to be too judgmental, but it looks like Phoenix isn't catching up to Panikoi, so Panikoi seems to have this race in the bag, and he'd be my driver today. To be fair, started where? He started towards the mid pack of let me check, or he could have started towards the end. Panikoi started 6th, so yeah, so he did the medium strategy, as I said. I didn't know it was gonna rain, so it was completely a surprise to me. Top 27. So I feel like now we're into the phase where everyone's getting into their own rhythm. No one can really do much to each other, considering, you know, it's wet, because you're on Hungarian. There's going to be a lot of mistakes, and those who do mistakes will lose out. But while we watch this, let's talk about this week's race, Imola. History about it, not really good history when you think about F1. That's unfortunately where the legend himself, Ayrton Senna, passed away in his fatal crash in what I believe is well, at the time it was a wide left-hander of what now it is today would have been turn 1. But I believe back then the starting line was further back, so it could have been like turn 2, turn 3, but either or. And this year's track, it's just after turn 3. Turn 2, turn 3, something like that. So I believe F1 will do something to tribute to him. I would be surprised if they wouldn't, considering that in the authorities or, you know, the track people keep signs and actually have a statue built exactly at the location of the wall in which he sadly passed away. But yeah, if they don't do anything about Senna, that's, you know, that's your opportunity lost, really, to tribute Senna. But either or, Imola is a good track. I remember racing Project Cars 2, 3, 4 years ago, around there. It was my favorite track. I like the flow. It's a nice track for old F1 cars. Looking at back in 2000, early 2000s, seeing the old F1 cars raced around there. It seems like a really nice track for racing. So with these year's modern F1 cars blasting through each corner, would be nice to see. It's not really more of a power track. I'd probably say it's more of a downforce track, really, if anything. There is one really long straight, though, and that's the main straight, where it is quite long, so, you know, you would expect a lot of overtakes to be done there. I think there's probably 2 DRS straights there, and then the back straight, there's like a long straight just after the final chicane going downhill. Might be a bit dangerous to have a DRS straight now that I think about there, but I don't know. It's this weekend though, so that's nice. It's 2 weeks in a row after always having a gap in between each race. But then there'll be 4 races left. Will be the Bahrain short version, and then oh no, there's Turkey before that. There's a gap after next week. There's a gap, Turkey, gap, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, all within a week. So we'll have gap, Turkey, gap, and 3 races in a row, which will fortunately end this year's championship, which was, although it was quite compact, there was still, I believe, 15 races? I don't know, I forgot how many races there was. 2 Austria, 1 Hungary, 2 England, 4 new tracks, which is 9, Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, Russia, the 13 races this season, so it, you know, it's meh, but, you know, out of those 13 races, 4 of them we can't race in the F1 games. Hopefully next year they'll sign contracts and they'll be like, wow, these are really good races, you know, we should keep them. And, you know, in the F1 games we can race them ourselves, because that would be really cool. Like, tracks, probably Mugello, I couldn't really care less to race them. If I may be completely honest. Mugello seems like a great track, but I mean, it's probably one of those tracks as well where, you know, it would be fun to see what co-masters could do. Portugal is a track I like to try quite a bit, because Turkey, you know, we've already raced in the early F1 games. You know, just get F1 2011 and then you can race there. And then what's the other track? Imola, yeah, once again, 2013, I think, F1 2013, just loaded up. You could race it there. You know, would be cool to see the new tracks. Would be something to spice things up, considering that it's always the same tracks every single year. This year having Vietnam Z4, it's cool and all. We did race them in our life, so, you know, we can't really judge too much on them, whether or not they're good tracks or not for racing. But having the 4 new tracks, I feel like would spice F1 2021 quite a bit. And considering the season will end in December and the new season could potentially restart February, March. I hope they start up early, considering that and actually no, I think they finished this season. Okay, sorry, 2 weeks or a week later than normal. Normally they do it the first week. Someone's destroyed the brake marker. That's Miku who spun. Or as it spun, but he just broke the brake meter board, and that's allowed Maple to jump him. And Maple could be touching distance of a P2 here. He keeps it clean. Anyways, as I was saying, Pixel guy in front of Fox. Now that I notice, but we'll move up to watch Miku try to catch up to Maple. Or no, we'll watch Maple who's actually catching up to Milan. Yeah, for 2021 would be cool to see. Have the 40 tracks, and it would be cool. But this year's game was good, probably the best in the whole franchise. Handling model's great. I just feel like when you race, it's so much more fun. Or it could just be me, but I find it much more fun to race this season, or this game, than it did F1 2019 or even F1 2018. I feel like from F1 2018 2019 they took a step up graphics wise, but they took a step down when it comes to the actual car physics. This year they with Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and Alexander Albon, of course, all racing in F1 2020. I believe it was Lando Norris who actually gave feedback to Codemasters saying, listen, handling model's trash, update it, because right now it feels like you have no front wing, you have a bit of damaged front wing. That's how it felt to go around the corners. But luckily they did. They changed it, and then now it just feels so much better. It feels like when you turn right, when you turn your wheel, it feels like you're going there rather than oversteering into the corner, which is a big thing last year. It was oversteer. You got a lot. Or no, you got understeer. No, understeer. I keep mixing oversteer. Oversteer is when you lose the back, and understeer is when you're turning right but it doesn't turn. There's a lot of understeer, especially in Austria. It's a prime example around there, Austria. The final two corners, you turn, it just wouldn't turn, it would go lots of curves. Now it actually feels quite rewarding. But anyways, lap 32. 4 more laps to go. Panico, it seems like as if he's going to win this race quite comfortably. Milan, though, let's see how many penalties. 3, 6, 9. Ooh, he's one penalty. He's one warning away from getting 12. If he does give 12, he'll be sweating a bit, because there's 12.4, 12.6. Always so good. He's losing time. There's 13 seconds to Milan. Maple seems to be much quicker than Milan, so if Maple gets in front of Milan and closes the gap, and Phoenix could be a bit sweaty for his P2, but I think you should be able to do it. Looks like Phoenix is actually pedal to the metal right now. He's trying to close up to Panic Boy himself. Try to see if he could do it. Miku gets himself a 5-second time for speeding in the pit lane, so he's going to box for a fresh set. I don't understand why. Oh, it changes front wing, but heck, at least Ruthful won't be last, he'll be 7th. But he's closing up to Fox, so should he be able to close Fox? I'd say so. Will he be able to? I don't know. But Maple's lost touch to Milan, and Milan's lost touch to Phoenix. And Phoenix isn't losing touch to Panico. If anything, he's closing in by 2 seconds in a lap. That could mean some serious business. could be challenging to see what happens towards the front. Because Phoenix is giving it everything. Let's see what the laps are like. This lap, Panakoi set a 132.7. Phoenix set a 132.0. So 7 tenths quicker that lap. I don't know, but I think Phoenix will be able to do this, even if, or Phoenix won't be able to do this, because even if Phoenix does overtake him, he needs to create a gap of, I believe, 6 seconds. So that's essentially, he needs to be 12 seconds a lap quicker now, 13 seconds a lap quicker actually now, and at just 2 laps time. Panakoi needs to spin in order for Phoenix to win, basically, that's what I'm trying to say. But final lap of this race, as Panakoi is about to enter the final lap. We'll see what the lap times were last lap. Seems like Panakoi is losing touch. He's falling back. Resets that lap. He set a 34.6. Phoenix set a 33.4. Oh god. So he's around 1.1 seconds quicker. Panakoi just needs to keep it on the track for this lap, and he'll have done it. One more lap and he'll have done it. Not that difficult, man. Come on. It'll be his first ever win that I've seen. Now, is it his first ever win? I don't know, but it would be quite a big one, and he will take my driver of the day. Worthful 1.7 behind Fox, might be able to snatch P6. Would be good, so like they could finish just behind his teammate, so it wouldn't affect him too much standings wise. He's all over the back of him though. As Panakoi started 6th on the medium compound tires. Early safety car made the soft runners a box for hard/mediums. They didn't manage to overtake because of the brutal pace that Maple had on his old tires. Meant that it was holding those who boxed up, basically. Panakoi was able to use his mega pace to run and control this pace. Panakoi is going to come across the final corner now to take his first ever win, I think, of SOR here in F1 2020. Congratulations, Panakoi. That was a mega drive. That's my drive of the day, hands down. Phoenix comes home in P2. I believe it's going to stay P2. Unless if Milan jumps him, which I doubt. But, question is, will Milan, Worthful guy in front of Fox by the way, will Milan be able to get P2? No. Will Maple be able to put himself on the podium? No. By 7 tenths he misses out. Will Pixel be able to jump any of them? No. He finishes P5. And I'll tell you what, Worthful might be able to jump his teammate here. Come across the final line. If he finishes top 5, there'll be an epic comeback drive. He finishes top 5. What a comeback drive by 600ths of a second. Pixel P6, Fox P7, and Miku unfortunately comes across around Jack for last place. Hugh finishes P9, or didn't finish P9. Hugh, Hazy, Thugs, Choi, GC Fungus, and Encore all DNF, and that's it. That's the Hungarian ring. That was a really good race. I enjoyed that. That was a good race. That was a really nice race. That was an exciting race as well. A lot of things to talk about. And there you go. Panakoi spraying that champagne in first place. For the first time I've seen him. Constructor seems to be quite happy. But there you go. That's been your Hungaroring. Oh, repeat your top 3 again. Panic Phoenix, Milan. And the only person to not get a penalty in this race is Maple. So congrats to him. He survived the penalty war. But that's been your Hungary Grand Prix. I'm your host, Justin, and I'll see you next week.